Grand Battement is a great step that can be performed both at the bar and in the centre. Grand Battement is all about throwing the leg up quickly, but then lowering it down with lots of control. For a Grand Battement, you really want to think about pushing down into the floor. So really think about going through your battement tendu before you lift the leg. For example, what you don't want to do is lift the leg from the fifth position, because of course that's really going to disturb your posture and make the leg really short in the Grand Battement. You want to think about the length in the Grand Battement, so the length behind the knee, not just on the leg that you're throwing up, but also on the leg that you're standing on. Like I said earlier, Grand Battement is all about the throwing up and the control to come back down. So imagine that you were doing Grand Battement in a swimming pool. So if you were lowering your leg back down through the water, think what kind of resistance that would feel like. That's what you should imagine when you're doing your Grand Battement. So for example, if I was to take a Grand Battement to the side, I'd throw my leg up, but then control it as I bring it back down. Throw it up, and then control as I bring it back down. So that will really help to develop the strength in the backs of the legs. When you're doing your Grand Battement devant, make sure that you don't allow your hips to move when you're throwing your leg up to the front, because you'll have a lot of force with the leg throwing up in the Grand Battement, so make sure that doesn't allow that hip to come forward. So as you throw the leg, I want you to think about keeping this hip back so you can keep the placement in the Grand Battement. If you're doing the Grand Battement derrière, it's the other way round. So this time you don't want the hip to go back with the leg, but you want to think about keeping your hips nice and square. Now I personally find it quite hard to do that. So I think about keeping my back muscles nice and even. I find it much easier to think about my back muscles than I do the placement of my hips. So you can think of both, especially with the Grand Battement derrière. So make sure that you're thinking of both sides of your back really even, because what tends to happen with the Grand Battement derrière is we open this hip up to allow for more height with the Grand Battement. You will gain more height with your Grand Battement if you push down into the floor and let the floor do more of the work than if you open out in your hips.
Thank you for watching. I will be sharing my new video for you next Thursday morning. Please do comment below if you have any thoughts or questions, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have found this video useful. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then you can subscribe by clicking the icon below. The full-length videos can be found at my website, tipsonballettechnique.com. You can also choose your next video by clicking from the selection here. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon.